New topic.
New topic. What do you got?
Logan, have you watched She-Hulk at all? Any of it? She-Hulk?
Yeah, I'm currently up to date on it.
Oh, right.
Good.
We can talk about all of it then.
All right. I'm a little hesitant to talk about it because I'm like, is it worth me sitting down and putting my blood, sweat, and tears into making a video about fucking She-Hulk?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about She-Hulk except Logan, apparently.
It might be the kind of thing where, we rip on it and get more views than shit that we actually care about. So, maybe we could sell our souls a little bit more for this. But occasionally, and this gets back to, I think my buzzword last time we talked about She-Hulk was, like a very schizophrenic writing team in that 2 out of 3 or maybe like 5 out of 6 episodes I fucking loathe. And then occasionally they come up with one that I'm like, that was a pretty good episode. If I didn't know all the backstory, the shitty woke press releases, all the internet hate, if I didn't know all that and just watched it as a show, I thought it was kind of good. So are we talking about the one with Tim Roth again, where she goes to the commune? Is that the latest one?
Yes.
That is the latest one, yes.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about the wedding one if you wanted to even mention that one.
No.
Yeah, I didn't like the wedding one either.
I kind of liked that episode.
Oh, all right. Shit. You got the floor.
One of the points you wanted to make was her whole weird agenda going to the wedding. That was like the big thing when you started the episode.
A weird agenda going to the wedding.
When Jen went as like She-Hulk, and you're like, why the fuck is she like trying to upstage her?
That's not going to be terribly interesting.
Burying the dog? Yeah. When did she bury a dog?
Mary.
When did she marry a dog? Did she came out holding the dog?
Oh,
No. That was just going to be her wedding party guy.
You sure? I thought that was supposed to be her groom.
Yeah, like how the bridesmen, maids, and the groomsmen all get kind of paired up.
Oh, do they?
In the wedding line there. That was who they paired her with.
Oh, I thought that was who she was marrying, because it's just so fucking weird. Women have married their
Wow. See, this is why we need to discuss this one.
Alright, we'll bring it up. I can act confused. I do that pretty good.
By the way, I heard that conversation y'all had back there. It was the funniest thing ever.
They always have, like, that's why I don't stop recording until after the break, is because they always have these really gay conversations about like Rob, how's my makeup? How did I look?
Andrew has the gay conversations. I try to deflect.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it because I was legitimately peeing and refilling my drink, so I didn't hear it. But She-Hulk was mentioned. The wedding episode, Rob said he kind of liked.
Yeah, I did like the wedding episode quite a bit. It was, as she actually stated in the first, and they stuck to it, it was a very self-contained episode. Didn't have anything to do with the rest of the plot. I like that. It was a little side adventure she had. The pacing and the comedy seemed a little more on point in this one. It's not a good show, but it seems to get a little better all the time. The best part of the show so far for me has been Madison.
Yeah.
And I want her back. But it was during episode 6 that I realized I've totally got a crush on Mallory, her other lawyer.
Yeah, the sharp-dressed black girl.
She's always wearing like the best outfits. And I'm just so impressed with her fashion sense.
And yet I'm the gay one.
Plus, she's a babe on top of that. Yeah, you're still the gay one.
Everybody loved Madison, but I think the show needs to fly out of the nest without the crutch of Madison being
She was
awesome.
in one episode.
I feel like any show would fly with Madison aboard. She was just that great.
It's still not that funny of a show. The wedding thing, it seemed a bit more realistic to me.
Yeah, that was a shit episode. Tim Roth, probably the best thing to happen to the show because it's Tim Roth. And even though one of his worst performances was in The Incredible Hulk, it's still like Tim Roth on his worst day is better than most people on their best day. So him, especially playing the role that he's playing now, how he's kind of like the reformed hippie, not cult leader, but he's all involved in like massage and therapy, and
it's a healing retreat.
Yeah. I fucking love him doing that. And douchey comic book character callbacks and cameo appearances. They had the fucking porcupine there, for fuck's sake.
I loved Porcupine's outfit because
wasn't that awesome?
That's exactly how they draw it, and that's exactly how ridiculous this outfit would be in real life.
It was the comic book come to life, and it was hilariously silly. It was so goddamn stupid.
And they had Manbull and El Matador going at it. I mean, that was perfect.
And then they have all these like healing moments. It was the second really good episode out of 7 at this point.
Like you said, it's very schizophrenic. It's like one writer on the whole team that is putting in little bits that are.
I would like to know that. I would actually like to know if you could credit a given writer for like show running on any given episode.
It has to be, because I'm seeing that in a few of these shows. There's like 1 or 2 really good ideas that are in Rings of Power.
There's some hint of talent that's being allowed to peek through. I figure they got like a room full of like 5 women, and probably the one that is like the least popular. And yet she's the most creative, and she's like has a stable relationship with the dude, and she's not afraid to like write some nice, good, creative shit. And all the others are just like, we hate men. Let's get some scores on men, or whatever the fuck they do in that goddamn room.
I figure it's more of a million monkeys, million typewriter scenario.
You think just eventually you throw enough shit at the wall, something's gonna stick? Yeah, but I mean, that whole episode stuck, I thought. I thought that was a good episode. And okay, I know a lot of people subscribe to my channel because we dump on like Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, shit like that. Occasionally, we're going to say good things about things that you're supposed to hate. So sorry, that's out there. That's happening right now. Intellectual honesty can be sometimes a little bit of a struggle and a little bit painful, but we're going for it.
How about this? The CGI still looks like shit.
It's not a great show, but it goes down so easy. Every time we go to sit down, we're like, oh God, we got to watch like 2 of these episodes and catch up. And then it goes by very quickly. And I'm like, okay, there's worse things to watch.
It's not like your balls are being raked over a cheese grater.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That.
It's just like, whatever.
And even when they have like a cringy, we hate men, girl power, even when they have a moment like that,
I just roll my eyes, yeah.
I don't want to say even when, but occasionally it's obviously for the comedy. It's obviously self-aware. But then other times
they only really got bad in that respect in the first episode. Ever since then, they've kind of held off on that. It's been subtle.
Or they've kind of, when they've done it, they've done like wink nudge, like.
And I'm fine with that. If that's your comedy angle, just make it funny.
I mean, before anybody knew what the word woke meant, before that was like a buzzword. If Ally McBeal, we all liked Ally McBeal. If that came out today, it would get so much shit. So
would it though? People would give it shit before it came out because they'd never seen it and would scream woke at the top of their lungs. Then they'd watch it and realize that, oh my God, this is funny and well written.
I think most people wouldn't give it a chance.
Some of it's cringy, like the whole thing with Mr. Immortal. That was kind of cringy.
Why was that cringy? He was obviously a joke character, and they were making jokes about him.
When they're going off on him in the initial talk with him, like it's not professional. You just don't do that.
In my head, I was thinking malpractice because they have a duty, not a fiduciary, but like a legal duty to like support him.
Fiduciary and duty, by the way.
I said douche and duty.
Sadly, we know more about the law process than the writers.
They should have been a little bit more on his side rather than, oh, he's a man. Go sit over there and let me fix this problem for you. Girlfriend. And they had their girlfriend moment. But I did like how they gave the imaginary figment of She-Hulk's imagination, Nikki, a chance to shine in that episode. That theory never played out, did it?
I have a modified theory about Nikki. Nikki does exist. She is a person. Jennifer is obsessed with her, dangerously so, and imagines a hypothetical Nikki in her life doing stuff and hallucinates her. So maybe half the scenes with Nikki actually happen. The ones where she's away from Jennifer.
So they have a very business-like professional relationship, and Jen's imagining the whole best buds thing?
Yes, in real life, Nikki actually kind of disdains her and doesn't really want to hang around her that much. And it only feeds Jennifer's psychosis. It's like George in Seinfeld when he's more attracted to a woman who is disgusted by him. So she can't stop thinking about Nikki and why Nikki doesn't like her. And so hypothetical illusionary Nikki is always there telling her she's great. I bet you if we look close, there'd be like a little pin on her lapel or something that indicates who is the real Nikki and who is not. There's going to be a tell.
That would just make the show so much better by the end of the season.
Oh, I'm praying to God. I'm looking for clues every episode.
The writers of the show, I can guarantee this happened. At some point, at least one of however many there are, watched the video we did. I mean, admittedly, only about 100 people in Toto watched that video. But one of the writers of She-Hulk watched that video and was like, oh fuck, we should have done that, and they feel really bad.
That's actually acceptable.
Rob just gave them the solution. They can go back in right now with CGI and put a pin on her.
They can retcon that shit.
Yeah. Because they take out the coffee cups and stuff they miss within hours now when they get caught.
They're not going to make it into this season, but it's going to be the first season of next episode. Big reveal.
I bet you could still Tyler Durden her presence somehow, even though she independently interacts with people. And honestly, I don't want to say I like her more than She-Hulk, but I like her more than Jen Walters. I'm a big Tatiana Maslany fan because of what she did in that show at that time. But I kind of like Ginger Gonzaga, the actress. She's been naked in a few things, whereas Tatiana has not. So I give her credit over Tatiana. So, oh, that's a good name, Tatiana Maslany. Then again, so is Ginger Gonzaga. Those both sound like porn names.
Yeah, those are terribly porny names.
Any thoughts, Logan?
For the that last episode, didn't at the end, that's when what's his name took her blood or something?
Correct.
I'm actually excited about that because they're hinting more towards Thunderbolts, I think, with that, and like a Tim Blake Nelson coming back. I don't know if you heard about that, but he's coming back as the leader.
The leader.
And actually, I misspoke as well. He's not in Thunderbolts. He's going to be in the new Captain America movie.
Does anybody have anything else She-Hulk related?
It's better than I expected, but still not good.
Not the worst thing I've ever seen.
I don't mind watching it. And when I say watching it, I mean like browsing Twitter with it playing and occasionally I glance up at it when something funny happens. That's, watching it for me.
I'm probably watching it still because it's part of the show.
One joke in 4 lands.
Yeah. Logan, you still in? Are you still watching it?
I'm just waiting for Daredevil. Honestly, that's the only reason why I've kept up.
I'm afraid what they're going to do to Daredevil.